Okay, and we are recording. So we have, I'm gonna just hide these controls. Let's see. Okay, we have the honor of being joined today by Lindsay, who was in a coma for 10 months and has been awake for 5 years, I believe. Lindsay is going to share her story, and we are joined by her and her family today. We thank you so much for coming, and I'm gonna have you take it. Let me turn on your microphone, and you can take it away.
Yeah, what do you fun? Okay, so let's go to the next slide to start. This is what after I got hurt. Okay, so I was a project manager for a pharmaceutical company running clinical trials. I absolutely love traveling. I love writing. I love music. And hiking is a huge thing. That's something I need to get back to. And I like yoga. Okay, next slide. After 1 month of marriage, I was beaten to near death. I was in a coma for 10 months. I nearly died several times during that coma. I woke up and I was I'm still fighting for my life. Ever since then, it has been relearning absolutely everything, including how to eat, how to talk, how to do everything you can think of. Think of when you're a newborn baby as an adult. That was my life. Okay, next slide. Okay, I have a video when I was first waking up. So,
You got it.
Awesome.
Good job, Linz. You want to suck on it? No.
No.
Do you want to open your mouth?
Awesome.
Good job, Linz. You want to suck on it?
okay, I think it's- next slide. I'm just kidding.
There's 3 videos on the.
I'm
okay.
just kidding.
Just kidding.
This guy came out of his house on
Open your mouth.
Just kidding.
Awesome.
We'll
The
learn.
first one. Do you want to give some context for this next one?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So this is Lindsay's birthday, June 12th. And so she was hurt November 10th, 2016. And she was unresponsive. And we decided to put her in a wheelchair and bring her to the general room for all the staff to sing happy birthday to her. And it was the very first time her body actually moved. She kicked her leg in response to them singing happy birthday. And it was a pivotal moment because we knew she was there. We knew she could hear us.
It was the whole thing. That's okay.
Okay, so you're not seeing her kick her leg, but trust me, it's there. So this one is about 2 days after she woke. I had her, she was on hospice, right? We pulled her off all life support and we brought her to Leahy. She started coughing up blood. And they told me that she was blind, she couldn't see anything. And I called her neurosurgeon, Dr. Dempsey, and I said, Dr. Dempsey, you need to come, we're at Leahy. And she can see me. He says, Laurie, it's impossible. You're dreaming. And I'm like, she can see me. And this video is her proving that she can see, hear, and respond to us.
Job. I love you, Lindsay, for our wave now. Hi. Good job. How many fingers am I holding up now? How many now? How many fingers now? Now how many? 5 fingers? Okay, now how many? Good job. I love you, Lindsay, for our wave now. Hi. Good job. How many fingers?
Okay. So this is now we're gonna kind of touch my rehab journey. Let me just tell you, it has been a crazy, crazy journey. Okay, so in Leahy, I was transferred to Spalding, Cambridge. And that was September 2016. Then June 2017, I was in hospice. September 8th, I woke up. And this is when I was weaned off of all the drugs. I think it was something like 43 drugs. I could not speak at all. Luckily I knew a little sign language, so I was signing to everybody, but I couldn't speak. Then I went to Spalding, Cambridge. I was transferred to Lake Hospital. I went back to Spalding. See, this is where I do my memory is all messed up from this. Then I went to Life Care to Neshoba Valley. I was there until October 30th of last 2 years ago. And now, what does it, oh yeah. I used to go to Whittier for outpatient when I was at Life Care. Okay, next slide. Yeah, like I said, I had to use a little sign language to communicate. When I finally started how to speak, my mom was really funny. She had all these little workbooks learning how to speak, how to write. I've had to relearn absolutely everything. For some reason, okay, I can't remember like since a couple years before my injuries, but I always remember people and animals without a doubt. I don't know how, but I always do. It's funny. Okay, next slide. Okay, music therapy has played a huge role in my everything. Before my accident, I had this amazing singing voice. I don't have it now. But when I was in my coma, they were trying to do rehab with me and I wouldn't do anything. My mom said, let's play her iPod. And then every time I had therapy, they put the iPod and it was going. It was awesome. Okay.
And just for some context, so Lindsay worked with a music therapist, predominantly Stian, I
I
think.
did.
Yes, yeah, who used kind of like a sensory orientation protocol. And that's very similar to the one that we talked about that we use with patients who are in, say, a DOC state. So you're trying to just stimulate arousal, you're trying to stimulate recovery, facilitate meaningful responses, orientation to person, place, and time. So you can imagine that within the context of neuromusic therapy, it might be something like localizing to a favorite song of Lindsay's,
Yep.
playing favorite tunes, maybe using singing as a means to help with production of functional words. So that was really the main focus, I think, of the initial music therapy kind of intervention.
Yeah, now it's fun just try. Go ahead, Mom.
Yeah, let me add. So when the therapist at Spalding were trying to massage her arms or move her legs or take her in for her therapy sessions, she didn't want it. She would respond angrily, kicking and trying to hurt the therapist. And then that's when we introduced the music. And as soon as we put the music on, her focus was on the music, not on the therapy. So then the therapist could do their job. So it was really pivotal in trying to introduce therapy into her regular routine.
I have some notes here from Stian that when Lindsay was admitted to Spalding, Cambridge, they were working on arousal and eye opening and localizing. And as you progressed, the task, I'm going to skip to the next slide. The task shifted to more simple attention and memory exercises. So things like following commands, working on Lindsay's grip strength, working on kind of stop and then go. So attending to the music to kind of pace yourselves, playing bells for short-term memory. And, you know, it was, I think, mostly focused on working on speech and also with gait training.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things for me too was when Stian first started helping me. I always forgot what time he was coming. I would text him constantly. And then as we progressed, I realized I had it in my phone and I stopped bothering him and asked him. Well, connect. Okay, so now it's all about working towards my goals. Next slide. Okay, remember to remember, this is a huge thing. I think I drive my parents crazy with how many questions I ask them. Early on, I used the Notes app to write everything down. Honestly, I still use it. I still rely on my phone for pretty much everything. Like I set up different times to do my therapy, music therapy, regular therapy. I have it all on my phone. So when the alarm goes off, I know to continue on and to continue working. Okay, next one. Okay, staying focused. That is a huge, huge thing for me. But now I am laser focused. I get worried about my memory failing, but I usually always remember, but I just still have things set up. Okay. I do prefer it to be a little bit quiet instead of like being in a room with a million people talking. That is very confusing and overwhelming for me. Okay, next one. Okay. As I said, I had a really hard time remembering things I had to do. So I decided, forget, I want my independence back, which is very much like me, if you know me. And now I'm just very motivated on continuing forward. Excellent. Yep, it is.
You want to talk a little bit
Yeah, so this is one of the first times I was learning how to walk, like actually walk with nothing. And this is very early on in my recovery. Oh, I forgot about this. Next slide. So as I mentioned, music therapy is huge for me. It helps with my voice and my speech. When I first woke up from my coma, learning how to speak was incredibly difficult. So it's just been really helpful on figuring out everything. Okay, next slide. We already went over that. Oh, there is? Oh, this is the song I wrote. Ah!
Did you write this in collaboration with Stian?
Oh, this is with Kirsten.
With Kirsten, okay.
Yep. I hope so. Maybe not. Sing a song I wrote called Don't Worry, Be Lindsay. I'm going to stay in a wheelchair. When time around, I can walk anywhere. Don't worry. Be Lindsay. Lindsay. Ooh. For work, couldn't eat any food, but now I can't. Everybody's my food. Don't worry. Be lazy. I want to go down. Okay. At least that is fun. blood is working wrong. Voice therapy it is getting strong. Don't worry. Be Lindsay. The way be. Okay, so I think the biggest thing, actually, COVID was a kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you. Before COVID, I really worked for blind everybody who worked at Life Care. When COVID happened, pretty much everybody quit. So I had to learn how to get dressed, make my bed. I was doing everything by my own. Okay, excellent. Moving forward, this has been a huge thing. Like, as I said, I was in the wheelchair for until last year so far. 2016 to last October, I was still in the wheelchair.
And just for some context, this part of her presentation was 2020. So since then, Lindsay has accomplished some of these goals and even crushed a lot more of these goals. So just for some context.
I do paint almost every day. It's a place for me to take my emotions. This journey has been very unexpected. So I just like to put it into my painting, my poetry. And I'm currently working on writing a book with my story. It is very, very hard to take everything I've been through, but I want people to understand what it's like to have your life taken away from you, what feels like in the blink of an eye, and try to relearn. Okay, next slide. Okay, I do want to continue being an advocate for domestic violence. There has to be a reason that I'm still here. It really doesn't make sense. I've done lots of research. I really shouldn't still be here, but I am. I support all domestic. What's the thing? Yeah, I have spoken out live in front of people. What year was that, Mom? 2018, right?
2018.
And ever since then, I haven't stopped. I've spoken on TV show. I've spoken on the radio. Okay, next slide. Last one. Okay, a word of advice: I never give up, ever. It doesn't matter what path you have. You need to continue forward. It's not worth getting upset about. It's time to move on. And because of my mom, I only allow 10 minutes a day to be upset, and then I move on. Open for questions. Oh,
This microphone is acting up again, so I'll walk around with the lapel mic. And while I do that, Lindsay is going to have Emily and I pass out some gifts for you all as well. Do you want to tell them
Yeah.
about these?
so when I was about to pass away, my mom decided to make little angels in my favorite color orange. Well, now, instead of it being for me passing away, I'm using it for hope to continue on. Well,
Does
thank
anyone
you for
have any
listening.
questions for Lindsay or for Lindsay's family? Out. Might have an extra.
I think we scared everybody. Oh,
Yeah. Divide and conquer with these. I can't count.
First of all, thank you for your presentation. It's wonderful to see where you are now. You've talked a little bit about your goals. What are you most looking forward to working on, and what is the hardest thing that you're working on right now?
walking without these crutches. That I just want to walk. I'd like to be able to get my license again, even though I'm 32. I am living independently. It's all the little things you don't think about. like I said, I feel like a teenager in an adult's body.
Okay. Coming over here. I'll go to Ken first and then Angelique. Okay. Question?
Thank you so much for being here. And I also think it's really heartwarming to see your family here as well. And I had a question more so directed at them. Hi. I wanted to know about probably the hardest part for you all to kind of endure while Lindsay's also going through her journey and recovering.
Yeah, that's a tough question. So everything's tough. I'll start there. You get the phone call and you know, you're talking to her 1 minute and the next minute they're telling you she's going to die. Then you sit in a room with 15 doctors that sit there and tell you 20% of her brain has been damaged and she'll never see, she'll never hear, she'll be in a vegetable state for the rest of her life. So what do you do, right? And her father and I were at odds on what to do. So she had a living will I couldn't find. I would have preferred to take her off machinery and let her decide on her own. But he had a different mindset. Then she aspirated, and you know, during that journey, that 10 months, every week there was something else. Every week she developed anencephaly. So the fluid on her brain, as you know, was so great. They had to put a shunt in to save her life. And it was like always like the last moments of but she's going to pass away. She's going to pass away. And you go, and then finally you make a decision and you go to court. And I think this was the absolute hardest day of my life. You bring a child into the world because you want a child, you know, and I love my children. I have 4 children. I adore my children. And then I have to go to court and I have to ask a judge to let her die. That is incredibly hard. And you know, they made it even harder in a sense because I had to get up and spend about 30 minutes showing pictures of her and telling the judge her story. When she's in India, she's doing this, she's singing in a club. She's, you know, Lindsay was a very kind of bohemian, eclectic young lady that traveled the world and did such great things. And now I'm asking a judge to let her die. Then I have to go plan her funeral. And her father wasn't present during that. He couldn't do that. So someone had to do it. And then you have 3 other children who are in need, right? All grappling with the news media, the detectives, the trials. And you just go into a zone and you just get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm just going to do whatever I have to do today. So it's incredibly hard. But for me, the hardest moment was asking the judge to let her die. Then you know, everybody's lost hope, but you still have hope. And so you go through and I'm there and I'm putting a dress on her, preparing her to die, literally preparing her to die. And she starts coughing blood and starts moving. And you go, oh my God, she's waking up. And everyone says to you, no, she's dying. This is last moments of death. And you say, no, she's here. And I took her to Leahy. I told them, take a hike. I'm taking her to Leahy. And I took her out. And here she is.
I know that a large part, I think, Lindsay, of your experience is kind of proving that you still have more to do and more to accomplish. How do you and your family kind of rally around each other for support, or what did you find to be the most beneficial? Just, you know, in thinking of us going out there and being advocates, what is a word of advice that you would give us?
A word of advice is to stay positive. I really think that's the biggest thing for me. I was so negative and it was taking me down. You just need to find the littlest things like, hey, I can eat. Hey, I can take a drink. Hey, I can breathe. Like, just look at the world and taking it down to the littlest things. Good.
So I want to say something else too. All of you guys are studying and learning about, you know, therapy and brain injury and different things, right? You know, we couldn't have gotten through without you guys. So every single person that touched us, every single person, every single therapist, every individual helped us believe we could do more and held our hand in the times where we didn't think we could get up off the floor. And today, I can tell you that majority of her therapists are in touch with us on a regular basis. Regular basis. There are people here at Spalding, Mass General, Leahy, that take an interest. Her neurosurgeon has to see her every 6 months because he just wants to see her progress. And he says he's never done that in his career before, and he's older than I am. So, you know, it's you guys make a difference, and don't underestimate the impact that you have with that. Let me put the Bruins game on because we know she likes the Bruins. You know, the therapist would call the other therapist going, I left and there's a Bruins game tonight. Can you put that on? And everybody remembered what she liked, and everybody put the effort in, which to me contributed to this journey. So you guys are really important.
Any other questions before I offer last thoughts? So this is your third year presenting at
It
my
is.
class.
Yep, the first year was Zoom. Yep.
And each year, Lindsay gets better and better and better. And this year, no walker,
Nope,
no
nothing.
nothing. I got no hands on you. So I'm excited for what you have in store next year. Thank you so much. Thank you all. All right. We'll transition out of our speaker one, and Jake will get you set up. Lindsay, I'm just going to steal this microphone from you. Hang tight 1 second, okay?
Sorry, I forgot.